Hi, C. Peterson here. It has been quite a while since I recorded my last acting video. They're acting lessons 1, 2, 3, 4. They're numbered and they go in order and they are on my YouTube channel. And I'm so glad that you're using my YouTube channel as a resource for you. It is really my goal to provide you with the same kind of training that I provide to my students who are able to come to workshops and study with me privately in my office space and my studio in the Hartford, Connecticut area. For those of you who are not in that area, I hope that what you find on YouTube you feel is a really good substitute for that kind of training. Do feel free to be in touch with me anytime though. I do work with students via Skype if you need some private coaching. Also, please check out my websites, www.cpeterson.com, and also my new website, www.cloudsandawaffle.com. That's my new production company. Follow us on social media, Instagram and Facebook. Go to the website to submit audition materials of your own and also to subscribe to our email list so that you'll know about new auditions as they become available. Cold reads. Today we are talking about cold reads. Sometimes you go into an audition where you'll be auditioning with sides and you're very familiar with the information. The things that we're talking about, some of those will still apply to that. But sometimes you go in and it's completely cold. Maybe it's original material and you haven't had an opportunity to access it because it's not available. Or maybe it's not original and you didn't go and access it before the audition, which I would suggest next time that you do, but still you're going to be facing it as a cold read. So some steps that you should follow. First thing, find yourself a quiet area of the room and read the material out loud. Flat. Yes, flat. Not mechanical, not like a robot, but flat without inflection. There's two reasons why. The first one is once you decide that the words mean something, you're not going to be open to the possibilities of the character that you need to find when you do your character analysis. The second reason is that we have muscle memory. Those of you who are singers are very familiar with that. You get something in your voice and once it's there all the time. And that cadence or that tone or that delivery follows you through your cold read audition. And you don't want to do that. You must be open to possibilities. So rule number one is a simple one, flat read. That means you read it out loud, something like this. There's no real script there. Today I am going to see my mother. I wonder what she will say to me. She and I have not been friends for quite a while. That's what I mean. Rule number two. You must go through the script and find the given circumstances, and the given circumstances are simply just the facts of the story. Think of yourself like a journalist when you used to write a journalism report in school, who, what, where, when. That's what you're looking for. Read through the script. I'm always surprised when I work privately with a student or in a class and I ask them to find the given circumstances of the piece, how many things elude them. So read through like an investigator really carefully. Who are these people? What's going on? Where are they? The more factual information that you can discern from your reading, the better off you're going to be. And let me make something clear about this. You do need to infer, but inferring and assuming are not the same. A great example is I remember one time I was doing a scene study from A Doll's House by Ibsen. Great play. If you've never read it, I highly recommend it. And there was a section where she was talking about how cold it was outside and about the tree in the living room. And when I said to the people working on it, so tell me about when this takes place, they had no idea. It's cold. There's a tree in the living room. When do you think it takes place? Of course it takes place at Christmas, and that's really, really important for the context of the story that it's at Christmas time. It's like Romeo and Juliet. It takes place in the heat of the summer outside for a reason. That heat is something that keeps coming up over and over again. So make sure that you infer. If they're talking about things that are there, make sure you see them, but don't make assumptions, especially about the relationship they have with each other. Maybe you have a scene where there's an argument and so you say, they're always fighting, but you don't know that if it's not there, unless you can infer it because someone says, oh, once again, you and I aren't seeing eye to eye, okay? So given circumstances, that's number two. Third thing, Relationship. I have a long video that explains relationship and goes into great detail. If you don't know how to do that, please do watch that one. It will be helpful. I'm not going to go into that kind of depth here, but just briefly I want to say you must make a statement of relationship, like Michael Shurtleff suggests in his great book, simply called Audition. You want to find the love, and that if the love isn't there, then maybe it's the want of love that you can put in the scene. So start the statement of relationship off with love, if at all possible, or a complete absence of love, such as hatred, which is just as strong if you possibly can. And then say things about the character that support that first part of it, that complete absence of love, that all the terrible things you can think about this person, or that statement of love, some wonderful things, why you love this person, and then get to the but and what it is about this person that is completely opposite. That's a really important place to be. It will make the relationship rich, and it will give you a way of interacting with the person in the cold read, even if it's a hired reader who's giving you nothing. And remember, there's never nothing. There's always something. If you can't figure out what that is, then just think that it's indifference. And trust me, indifference is very much something. So that's the third thing you need to do, is come up with that really clear statement of relationship. And the fourth thing that you need to do is determine then, of course, what your character wants. And again, if you don't understand that, go back to the extended video where I talk about objectives and how to formulate good objectives. I think it's video number 2, and that will explain it in detail. But here I'll just say your character has to want something. It is intention that drives everything about what you do. The lines are always the same. If your line is "thank you very much" and your intention is to make someone feel very appreciated, then you're going to say "thank you very much." But if your line is "thank you very much" and your intention is to make someone feel bad for the way they've ignored you or how indifferent they've been, then maybe you would say "thank you very much." Same line, different intention. So you absolutely have to know what your action is or what your intention is toward the other character. If you know how you feel toward the other character in the read, and you know what you want from him or her, you will have given yourself the blueprint you need to go forward in the audition, grounded in an action, knowing how to look at and listen to and speak to that person because of the way you feel about them, grounded in the facts of the story because you did look at the given circumstances. And then, of course, doing all the things you should do in an audition, which there's an audition video you can watch as well. So listening and living in the moment and showing that you know how to make choices, especially if it's a cold read and there are things you don't understand. So simple, 4 things that you should do. Read it out loud first, flat. If you don't know something, certainly look it up. Then make sure that you go through the given circumstances, the facts. Also the things that you can infer, like that it's Christmas because it's cold outside and there's a tree in the middle of the living room. Then come up with that nice statement of relationship, hopefully starting with love or the complete absence of it or the desire for it, and then the intention that you need to get from this person. If you do those things, you're going to be off to a great cold read and a great audition. And remember, getting the part is not within your purview. Just doing a great audition is. And trust me, you and the person watching the audition, which might be me, especially if you're auditioning for one of the new projects that I'm spearheading in my Clouds and a Waffle Productions company, we want the same thing. We both want you to do a great audition. So go out there, do some great auditions, feel good about them, and then walk away knowing that the rest of it is not, it's not something that you can control. And of course, I wish you break a leg.